Hello, everybody. It's me, TONIK TZW, and it's not often that I spend money on this game, and I advise people to be very cautious about what they do spend. But with it being World of Warships Legends' fifth birthday, I decided to chance my hand on a few Christmas kits, and I was going to say Christmas cakes there, and I was lucky enough to drop the Tier 7 French battleship Gascoigne. Now, I'm running Robert Jaujard on it. I don't know when I put this build onto my French battleships. I think it was when I was playing the Republique, to give me some accuracy and dispersion at range with it. So if you've got a much better captain and inspiration or build for your French battleships, please do share it in the comments below the video, and I shall give it a go and see how I do with it. Now, this video is literally my very first game in this ship, and let's just say it was a little bit frustrating to start with. And although we did come good at the end, I was in division with my buddy Young Chopper, who's been away setting up some big concerts and things for famous bands, but he's back home and wanted to throw a few games in together. Now, two destroyers in the game, two caps in the game, so logic says that one destroyer takes B cap and one destroyer takes C cap. Well, guess what? Logic does not exist in this game, does it? And the brain cells were obviously not sparking for our destroyer players, and I think you'll see my frustrations from my calls for intelligence and my pings on the map later in the game. It doesn't take the brains of an archbishop to figure out what may be the best way to play, and this team certainly um, didn't choose the best opportunities. Did I play the best? Well, it was my first game in this ship, so I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to play, but I was certainly going to try and do my best. Most of the time, I was really focused on what I was doing, not really looking at what everybody else was doing. But giving up a cap there on Charlie Cap straight away, um, not really the best thing to be doing. And our other destroyer is going to go sailing around the outside of the map, chasing a battleship up that way. And we get the Z39 spotted here. And we're going to put some shots on Chops. His secondaries are running because he dropped the Brandenburg from his Christmas crates. And obviously, secondary build on the Brandenburg, but the secondaries will only work if we can see something, and because our destroyer is hiding behind a smoke screen, we can't actually see anything. But there is the blue archive turpits, and we're not going to try for hull shots on him. We're going to go for superstructure shots because he is angled to us, and all we need is for this destroyer to keep targets spotted, but he can't even do that. You know that I can be very critical of what I consider bad destroyer play because I very much like playing destroyers myself. This turbot, I'm sure, is going to be firing torpedoes. The Z39, who is in his smokescreen, is going to be firing torpedoes at us too. And we've pushed around this corner. We got ourselves in a bit of a sticky position. We've got no option but to fight. Here come the torpedoes from the left-hand side from the Z39. And this is why you don't sit in a smokescreen, DD. You never sit in a smokescreen. But we get first blood there on that BA turbines. Here comes some more torpedoes. I'm going to have to eat one of those. We're going to damage control that flood, and we've knocked the guns. What have we got out there? We've got the Alabama. We're going to get a sweet shot Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Come on, shots, get out there, because we are going to tickle his pickle with a Citadel shot, and that is an absolute chunk of his health. And we're going to stay focused on him. We're still expecting our destroyer to go and spot the Z-39B, but he goes out of the game. That would have been brilliant if he could spot. There's torpedoes from the Ostergotland. We get shots out there at the Alabama, take him out of the game, and expecting that Massachusetts to push around the corner. But looking at where the shadow of the Ostergotland is, um, we're without one destroyer. The other guy is chasing that battleship on the left flank, which I think is a Roma. And I really, really want that Massachusetts to come round the corner. But there is a Hawk. He is broadside. We're going to try and get all our turrets on. And as I said, first game in this ship, so not really knowing how it's going to perform, and we don't really do a lot of damage on that one. Flat broadside Hawk, and we barely get a tickle on him. And now he's turning into us. I want to turn away. Massachusetts behind me. There's a Roma in front of me. I know there's another destroyer out here somewhere because red team still have both their destroyers. Our guys across there on the right flank are getting absolutely pancaked. And yeah, I was having one of my little tonic rages at this friggin' destroyer because he was a bit of a plum. I don't know what he was aiming for. I think he does finish quite high up in the standings. And there's torpedoes again. This Z-39 is still hanging around here, and all I want this destroyer to do is to please come in and spot it. If we can get rid of one destroyer, it evens us up a little bit. But there we go. I'm in a bloody battleship, and I've got a solo cap. What the hell is going on here? We are two ships down. Red team are two ships down. We can't see many of red team ships, but it's not looking good for us at all, really, is it? We've got a battleship down there near our home cap. I fluff a shot at the Z-39, and I know that I'm in trouble. Now, he could just be hiding behind that island, so Chops is coming round the island to the rear of me, and I'm saying if I push this island, we might get this guy automatically detected, and then your secondaries can take care of him. That was the plan anyway. So our DD has done the right thing now. He's decided to go and take a capture point because that one is wide open. Massachusetts is pulling forward and our ships are pushing back into our home cap. Red team are getting confident here, and I want to turn and get towards that Roma. I want my bow at him, and I don't want to be broadside to this Massachusetts. This could be horrible, but we're spotted. We are in the middle of a capture point. There's not a lot we can do here. We are playing very dangerous, so we take a slap off the Massachusetts. There is a good heel on this by the looks of it. But as you saw there, even though I'm running sort of reduced dispersion and increased grouping, that most of the shells go across the top of the Massachusetts easily within 8 kilometers, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. We take a torpedo, we take a flood, we're going to have to damage con that one, get out of the range of this Massachusetts. Again, he's angled, we're going superstructure at him. The Roma's out in front of us. We've got a ship going against that Roma, rotating single turrets at the moment through this Massachusetts, trying to do what we can. We're out of secondaries, which is a good thing. These shells really are all over the place. That's absolutely shocking. But are we going to get them this time? Yes, we are. That is our third kill of the game. The Roma out in front of us is gone, but we did lose the ship that pushed up that flank as well. And now the Z-39 is decided that he wants to try and set me on fire and burn me down. The annoying little ship. There's the other destroyer behind us, and as I turn to get my guns on, the back end of my ship snags this island, and I am absolute torpedo bait here. I am hooked up, I am stuck, I can't really do anything. And should I have taken a shot at this Ostergotland? He is a long way away, but I'm absolutely focused on trying
I
to
need
get myself
intelligence data.
unstuck from this island and panicking a bit. Absolutely panicking here because if that Z39 comes around that corner, he's still on the cap, and I really am expecting torpedoes to come my way. We've used our last heal to stay alive, and I'm kind of begging this destroyer to give me some intelligence data. The Hawk is about to come around the corner of that island. He is in range. We're going to wait and have a look at his bow. We put his salvo out there. We catch the island with the back turret, which is unfortunate because I
I need
think
intelligence
had
data.
we waited a couple of seconds longer, we would have had a much best hit on him.
Engine boost
So,
activated.
this thing is
Fire
apparently
engine.
fast. Now, you did see from my build that I do trade some of my speed on one of my skills, but with that engine
Reinforcements
boost, it
deployed.
means I can open some distance to this destroyer. Our
Airlines in
DD
5 minutes.
is there on the cap with the Hawk, so we are going to try and do what we can to get some shots under that Hawk. I can't see what our Mainz is doing all the way down there, pretty much in the back corner of the map. Um, but he's obviously doing something, but is it shooting at that Hawk? Probably not. It's not looking great. I don't have much in the way of hit points. The destroyer has had to leave the cap, obviously because the
I
Hawk is
need
getting far
intelligence
too
data.
close. I know that I'm still spotted, which means that the destroyer is chasing me, and so we're going to start throwing in some changes of direction to try and avoid the shells from the Hawk, and also to try and avoid
I need
torpedoes
intelligence data.
from the destroyer. Excuse my sniff there. But look here, the DD is right behind me on this cap. I've got no support. And our DD, is he going to go into that cap that's beside him there? I'm thinking if the longer I can keep this guy running and the longer I can keep this destroyer coming after me, because he has to be on that cap for 1 minute. So I'm using game mechanics here. He has to be on the cap for 1 minute. I've loaded HE because it's what I'm going to need against him if he gets spotted. We're throwing in some turns, we're using some speed to open
I need
distance,
help.
and then we're doing the thing that pretty much most destroyers don't expect a low health battleship to do,
Roger.
and that is to turn back towards them. Yeah, it's a pretty dumb idea, really, isn't it?
I need help.
Now, had I been a bit luckier
I
with
need
that Hawk,
intelligence
we would
data.
have been on 4 kills. But we're not quite on 4 kills yet. But turning back, pushing back towards the cap, and I'm thinking,
Torpedoes to
as
starboard.
long as we have enough
Torpedoes
points
direct front.
that our destroyer can take the cap and then get onto this cap, I can afford to die. And the longer I can keep this destroyer interested in me, then the longer he is not going to be pushing for capture points. But we get a good hit, we get air fire. He is going to damage control that one, and here he is going to make a fatal mistake because he has fired his guns at me, which means that he is going to be spotted for at least 20 seconds. I can afford to have him spamming HE at me because I've got a damage control available. But what he hasn't got is a smoke screen, and that is him out of the window. So we get a dreadnought, we get the first blood, 132,500 damage with 4 kills. It would have been lovely to have had a first game cracking, but over 2,800 XP, which I think for a first play in a ship isn't too shabby at all. Top spot for me. And just to show you that I'm not BSing you, there's my stats. 100% win rate, one battle, and 4 kills. There we go. So, it just goes to show that you don't have to play the same ship again and again and again and again and again to get good at it. As long as you can understand the game a little bit and things come your way, you can have a decent game and actually produce the goods. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Don't forget, smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't. And as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.